Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. So we are waiting the trainer. Maybe he is experiencing some problems, so we are waiting him. So in order not to be bored as we are waiting the trainer, so I asked the technique to pass the last session so that you can get some kind of wrap up. No sound, please. Where is the sound? Okay, as Tharcisse as trainer has joined us, so I'd like to ask the technical also to end this presentation so that we can start. Are you hearing me? Hello? Do you hear me?
Yes, hear you.
Okay. So sorry for the delay. So without any other interruptions, so I would ask the trainer so to go ahead with the second session. And maybe I'd ask him to make some kind of wrap up with what we have covered yesterday, as maybe I know that there's some who have joining us today, but who were not there yesterday. So I would like him to make some kind of summary of what we have covered yesterday, then go on with the session of today. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Tharcisse. Tharcisse? Mute.
Yes, President.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon from all of us.
Yes. Just to start my it's okay? You
Good
see my
afternoon.
presentation?
Yes.
Yes, but it is the session 2, and we have 4 topics. And today we will talk about legal talk to management Olympic sport organization, famous athletes of the Olympic Games, performance at the Olympics, and the challenges for the IOC and your federation. Legal to manage an Olympic sport organization, we can see the Tokyo Organization of Olympics and anti-doping agency. And if you have problem, you have also CAS, Tribunal of Sport, the Court of Sport. It's very important to know that we have all the agency, or the legal tools to manage an Olympic organization. Because we have anti-doping agency, we have CAS, and other organization. And we are trying to understand your argument, and we are here. This is you. Here we have athlete, judge, referee, coaches, and other sports, and we have the National Sport Association. This is organizing committee. Here we have media, coaches, and other sports, and we have. I have problem with my sound. What about? Claude, try to. Yes, it's okay now. You have athlete, judges, coaches, and other sport technicians, and the National Sport Association, media, and your local sponsor. And next, you have NOC, National Olympic Committee, your International Federation, OCOG is the Olympic organization. And after this, you can talk about the IOC, Olympic Solidarity, Executive Board, members, and the IOC. I repeat, please, athletes, National Sport Association, media, your local sponsor, and after we have NOC, and after NOC, I think that the head is the Minister of Sport, I think. And
yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Have you shared the document, or we are not seeing it on the screen?
Yeah. You see the document. You see my presentation.
No, we are seeing an outline of document, but not the document.
And now?
Yeah, we are seeing the file, the folders of your computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You see operating agreement of sport organization? You don't see?
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
And now?
Now we are
Yes,
seeing
yes.
something.
Okay. This is okay.
If you can go back, it is okay.
Yeah, I come back. Yes, legal to manage an Olympic sport is the first topic, and the famous athlete of the Olympic Games, second topics, and we have a performance in the Olympics and challenge of the IOC and Olympic Sport Organization. This is first. We have 4 topics for today, and I talk about legal tools for management in Olympic sport organization. We talk about the Olympic Committee organization for the games and the agency, anti-doping agency, CAS, and other organization, Para-Olympic Games. Yeah, this is the chart of government of the Olympic sport organization. We have athletes, judges, referees, coaches, and other sport technicians. We have National Sport Association Club. We have media. We have also local sponsorship. And after this, we have a National Olympic Committee in your country and the sport of minister, the Minister of Sport in the International Federation. And the OCOG. OCOG is the Olympic Organization for the Games. And after we can, we have the relation with Olympic Solidarity, administration of IOC, members, executive board, and the IOC. Operating environment of sport, we have athletes, judges, coaches, sport technicians, National Sport Association and club, media, local sponsors, and also National Olympic Committee, Minister of Sport, Organizing Committee of Games, International Sport Federation, Olympic Solidarity Department, Commission and Work Group, Olympic Museum, Administration, IOC President, Executive Board, and members. The nature of Olympic sport organization. A sport organization is a group of people who work together to achieve the sport related goals they are responsible for organizing. This is important. And we have the people, we have also the rules, objective, process, and all this. Many things, if you have an object. And the bodies of a sport organization, we have a General Assembly, Executive Committee, Executive Office Board, Technician Commission, Fifth Commission, Legal Commission, Athlete Commission, Competition Organization Commission, Finance and Marketing Commission, Media and Telecommunication Commission. There's the many commission, but it is very important to have the, all the commission, legal commission, risk commission, athlete commission. Governance and structure for your organization. Governance, we have president. Now we have the president of the CAVB-Zone 5. Vice President, General Secretary, Assistant General Secretary, Treasurer, Assistant Treasurer, and we have a staff administration, General Manager, Finance and Accounts, Technical Department, Human Resources, Marketing and Sponsorship, Information Technology, and for your sport, outdoor and indoor sport facilities, Profession and General Administration. Rules and regulation of your organization, we have Olympic chart because we your national federation, which is the Olympic sport, is the Olympic Federation. About rules and regulation in your organization, you can talk about statutes and international regulation referring to the statute, administrative and financial procedures, commission regulation, staff regulations. Don't forget the national sport law, the national sport law. status of the International Federation, of your constitution, Olympic Charter, and the Code of Ethics. But we have also the inclusive legal right, copyright, which is very important. Rules for each sporting events, basketball and beach volleyball, sporting regulation by age category, rules for amateur competition, for professional competition, for regional competition, for example, CAVB-Zone 5 competition, continental and international competition, anti-doping code, and regulation of players transfer, contract with sponsor and licensing. This is very important. General regulations. We have also status of the player of athlete. It's very important. Guard of the coach, guard of the judge, status and guards of competition director, team doctor and the kinesiologist, status, and the chief of the mission manual for Olympics, guard for team leader, and guard conflict and interest. It is very important to know. The guard anti-bribery and corruption. It is the guard for your federation. Very important. The International Federation for Volleyball. The guard match manipulation. Guard reputation risk. Guard gift and hospitality also. And now we use the internet. We have the guard that protection. National international sport competition, main competition in the Olympic Games. For you, we have national youth championship, national junior championship, national senior championship, national cup, school and university competition, armed forces and police championship, professional club championship, amateur club championship. You have, it is, I think that it is the plan strategy for the president, regional competition of CAVB-Zone 5, Youth Continental Games, Continental Championship, Africa Games, qualifying competition for World Championship under 18, 19, 20 years. Qualify competition for champion and Olympics, Commonwealth Games, Francophone Games, World Championship Games. This is, we can see now the competition of the International Federation of the Volleyball. Annual events, Volleyball National League, that is a high league. The problem for Africa. Volleyball Challenge Cup, Women Club World Championship, Men Club World Championship, and the quadrennial events, Men World Championship, Women World Championship, Olympic Games. And we have also age group categories, on the 21, on the 20, on the 20, 19 and 2018. for the girls. For beach volley, high competition is Beach Pro Town. This important. The problem is the Africa teams. We haven't. This is a high level. Beach volley championship and the Olympic qualification tournament. Continental Cup. Beach Olympics. Under 21 World Championship. Under 19 and World Beach Games, the Youth Olympic Games. We have the regulation and the other documents of the European International Federation, the Volleyball International Federation, because we have a constitution, rules of procedures of the Federation, the International Federation Congress, general regulation, disciplinary regulation, code of ethics, financial regulation, guide to the procedure for financial disputes, homologation regulation, sport regulation, events regulation, medical and anti-doping regulation. And now, this is for you, discussion question is very important to define the class of your also your sport organization, the national and international sport movement. Define your role, the role you also plays in the implementation of sport practice in your country. List the benefits that allow you to develop and promote your sport in your country. Make a list of the problems that keeps you from developing your sport. And after we can propose the development strategy plan. You can define the path for your also in the national and international sport movement. National Federation of Kenya. For example, we have the organization, national organization, but you must have a good relation with the sport minister, a good relation with your international federation, with your national Olympic committee, and also good relation with your athletes, players, clubbers is very important. Alfred. Can you talk us for this?
Well done. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm getting challenges with my network, but I have entered a bit late, but I can just try and define place of a sports organization, national and international sports.
Yes.
We start from the club level. That is when we have the clubs and the team members whom play and just get when there is national assignment, they are just selected to form a national team. And then after forming the national team, before they form a national team, they are under national federation. After being selected to the national team, Now, if it is through the Olympics, the National Olympics Committee takes over the responsibilities of the national team and ensures that the preparations with conjunction with the sports Ministry of Sports to prepare the team so that with all the challenges that teams have, maybe of the, in Africa, we have our own challenges of equipment, infrastructure, and being that we are still in the stages of self-reliance, the teams prepares with the little challenges of equipment and what have you, but the government enters and support like the air ticket, the participation fee in the national requirement, and then in the benefits and allowances to develop and promote the sport. We rely entirely on the local sponsors, whom actually enters come and assist us in preparing the team, like the accommodation, the making sure that the train have the allowances and the transport to and from the accommodation. And we've been having challenges also, but government of Kenya, Ministry of Sports, they have become handy with the National Committee of Kenya, whom they ensure that all the teams that qualified for Olympics, they prepare and have adequate preparations. And the challenges are addressed early enough, not forgetting this time, like this preparation towards the Olympics Tokyo 2020, we had the challenges of the pandemic, and being a new thing to the world, I think the government of Kenya tried. They were also helping the team to have a free zone of training with the protocols of the COVID-19. And the team had some preparations and well articulated training programs. And we didn't miss any, but we had our challenges. We didn't have enough.
I understand that. But I think that have you the problem with the women national team for the World Championship, Poland, I think?
Yeah, the women national team for the Olympics.
Yeah, okay.
And the challenges that we had, we didn't have enough time to have some friendlies to develop the team. We had challenges because in Africa, the movement of players from one country to the other was restricted because of the pandemic. But the team tried with a little exposure, and they managed to pull an impressive competition at the Olympic Tokyo 2020. But the challenges that we had, players didn't have that movement of interacting with the other international players. And we didn't have, currently for women, we didn't have players training outside in international games. So we entirely rely on the local clubs, whom at times they have challenges because releasing players, the national team there was some a bit of challenges, but all in all, teams were cooperating and they provided enough practicing time. And
okay, now I think that we can. I see Moses. Moses. Moses.
Yes, I'm around.
After Moses, what the situation in your country?
Volleyball is developed.
The class of your also in national, in the national and international sport movement.
Yeah, currently we are doing quite well, no problem. The women are correctly well. The men are also coming up. Recently, we had the Africa Cup of Nations in Rwanda, and historically, our men beat Egypt, and that was a good performance. And we have plans in our own country the way we are going to deal with that. As my boss has talked right away, I was listening to him, is that a lot of competition. We have less competition, so we need more competitions. We also need, yesterday we talked about age group. This age group now allows players to develop the skills that when they get to the national team, it is just a matter of polishing, and we shall be the top volleyball performing nation. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you. But to understand that the pandemic situation is not under control. Okay, thank you. This is the problem, the big problem now we have. And the next topic, which is about the topic, it is the famous athlete at the Olympic Games. And we can, yes, Sami Mulenge. Sami Mulenge. Yes, Sami.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, I just wanted to echo the sentiments made by Alfred and Moses. We all come from the same country, that is Kenya. Yes. Alfred has been the team manager for the women national team to Tokyo. First of all, I want to thank you for this quite very interesting topic today. And I would like to add a little bit on the same topic on our structure. We can say that the government of Kenya at the moment is trying their level best to try to assist all the federation in terms of the national team preparation. There before we had a lot of challenges, but nowadays we can say that the government of Kenya through the Ministry of Sports, we have been able, at least after qualification, we have been able to get some facilitation to make sure that the team prepares very well. Besides the pandemic which we had the last year. And we must also thank the International Federation for giving us support through giving us the manpower, that is the coaches from Brazil. That was next to a mile. And I think they did a great job to our country. And that's why we posted good results. Second, I want also to say that we've been having several problems in Kenya in regard to the time required to prepare the teams, and especially because now we are also working very hard on the beach volleyball. And you remember that yesterday our deputy president indicated to you that it was the first time for beach volleyball in Kenya to qualify to Olympics. So we are working on every time we try to work on strict timelines because we don't have much time. And the other point which they talked about no friendly matches, which I want to concur with them. Without having friendly matches, it's very difficult for a team to assess their performance, especially in high level. And that's why we are discussing yesterday regarding having Zone 5 competitions. And even in beach volleyball, we should have Zone 5 FIVB homologated to us. In that regard, I think we have some strategic plan for short term and long term regarding competitions which are near and which are a little bit far. Like now, beach volleyball, we are started targeting the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. So we need to start that Zone 5 nation tours, beach volleyball tours, so that we can expose our players. And at least by that time, I think we can be in a good position, at least to compete in the world map. Thank you.
Charlie Berries for the next topic, please. And now we can talk about the famous athletes at the Olympic Games. It is very important because we must talk about performance. In 1896, they are now Africa at the Olympics in 1996 at Athens, but the Greek Dionysios Kabikis beaten in the final and 3 rounds by the John Boland. You can See this photo. Yeah, very important. And the French of Haitian origin, Constant Enriquez, a medical student, becomes the first Black Olympic champion. He's part of the French rugby team, which wins the gold medal. Yeah, Lan Town and Jan Mashiani from South Africa in St. Louis Olympic Games. George Page is third in 400 meters and 200 meters, and he became the first Black American to win a medal at the Olympics. Regina Walker in the 100 meters from South Africa. And Jefferson, silver medal at marathon. Jim Thorpe won decathlon and the pentathlon and become one of the greatest Olympians of the time. The FIVB becomes the first Black American to win an Olympic gold medal, and Jose Leandro Andreat, the Black wounded, is the part of the Uruguayan team that win the Olympic football tournament. Amsterdam, we talk about Egyptian Mohsen Mohammed winning the gold medal, and Bulgarian Mohamed El Bafi. He was a native French of Algeria origin, wins the marathon in front of Cesar Manuel Plaza and finished Martin Martelli. Also, Silver Cattle from Haiti, win the silver medal in long jump. Thomas Edwards, Midnight Express, win the 2 medals, Olympic medals in athletics. Berlin, 1936, Nasbar Mohammed from Egypt, and Tony also, and we can talk Jess Owens, African American, wins 4 Olympic medals in athletics. Fayad Mohammed became the new hero of the games, London Games, and also Tobago Rodney from Trinidad. I think that you know the name, the American Ford Patson, winning of the tournament by beating Roman Vasiltita. 4 years later, he becomes the first Olympic champion to become world champion in the boxing. Bill Russell is the captain of the American basket team. Yeah, we see Abeb Bikira wins the marathon. And the second place, Radi Ben Abselan from Morocco. Wilma Rudolph wins 3 gold medals in single Olympiad. Cassius Clay Mohamed Ali wins the gold medal in Olympics. Mexico Games with Kit Keino, Naftali Temu from Kenya also, Mohamed Gamoudi from Tunisia, Mama World also, and Bob Beamon won the long jump, and George Foreman, boxing. John Akibiwa from Uganda, and Theophile Stevenson from Cuba in boxing. Montreal Games, we can talk about the Moses, Hassan Trafford, and also in boxing, Ray Sugar. Yeah, we see Nifter Miritz, Ethiopian, and Deli Thompson. Deli Thompson is British, but his origin is Nigeria origin. From Nigeria. Los Angeles, 1984, and with Nawal El Mutawakil, wins gold medal, and Said Awit also from Morocco, and Carl Lewis, 4 gold medals. Seoul, Kenyan's Robert Wangila in boxing, gold medal. Anthony Lesti in swimming, Suriname. And Peter Rono. Atlanta, I was there. Then Morselli, Nigeria football teams, Chioma Adua in long jump, Nigeria women, and Michael Johnson, 200 meters. It was the world record for 200 meters. Sydney with Haile Gebrselassie, Cathy Freeman, and in tennis we can see Williams sisters, Mia Mutola. Hisham El Gerouz in Athens, Rimo Kipruto from Kenya, and from Zimbabwe, Kavantri Kesti, swimming. Beijing with Istanbul, that's for gold medals. Kenisa Bekele and Trinesh Ibaba. And Françoise Mbango Etone from Cameroon, triple jump, gold medals. And also Trinidad team, really. London with Ezekiel Campbell, David Rudisha from Kenya, Stephen Kiprotich from Uganda, so American Gabriel Douglas in gymnastics won 2 gold medals, and Kershaw Twarkov from Trinidad. Mohamed Farhan from Britain, and from his origin is Somalia. And Wad van Lanka is from South Africa, and Eliud Kipchoge. Brazil team, Simon Baz in gymnastics and Tad Riner in judo. And now, Tokyo 2021, Eliud Kipchoge from Kenya, marathon. Soufiane El Bakari, Morocco. Elian Thompson from Jamaica and Sifan Assa. Athletics. Ahmed Afnoui, swimming. Also, Tajana from South Africa, and Michael Markham, Australian. Celeb Dressler, American. Badminton with Victor Alexen from Denmark and Jian Yufei, China. France and handball team, judo. Women and men. Mix it is the mix it. And Japanese team, fast mixing team, is a new sport in Olympics. And what about volleyball? France men team, USA women team, beach volley, Norway, and the USA women. It's your sport. The volleyball men team at the Olympics. From Tokyo Games 1964 to Tokyo. France, Brazil, Russia, London, USA. What about women teams? Japan from Tokyo and the USA. Tokyo 2021. Beach volleyball teams, you know, under small, under Christian for Norway. And the women teams, Alex Klineman and Rapi Ross, USA. Tokyo 2021. And they know the man, Umer Abdelaziz from Netherlands. Sergio Lutra Santos. Maxim Mikhailov from Russia. The man all the time. Arrows. And the woman Paola Iguni. 2021. She is the first now. First players from Nigeria. Second, Yan Kun Kim and Kim Zone. This is the ranking. You can see Brenda Castillo from Dominica, Republic of Dominica. Ahmed Tijat Sharif Younes from Qatar. Origin of Senegal and Gambia. Tijan and the Sharif Younes. Women Agatha Ripple from Brasilia, Edgar Santos, and Alex Kingman, USA. I finished my presentation, make a short presentation for the best player in your country. Okay, Charles.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to add to one or two things about what has already been said. It's very good giving us that background and especially on the volleyball in the Olympics. I would just like to say that preparing a team for the Olympics is a very, very demanding exercise.
Yes.
And it starts like in our African, let's say our Zone 5 and most African countries, most of the time the player is prepared by the club. You know, the national federation takes them over maybe a few weeks before the eliminations. Now, I think the preparation stage, one of the things that is lacking, and I think we share this in common, all of us, except maybe a country like Egypt, which is lucky to have what we don't have, is the facilities. And volleyball, I must stress, is an indoor sport. And most of us play 90% of the time outdoors. And then we switch these boys, these young men and women, to indoor just a few weeks before the major either Olympic qualifier and then the Olympics itself. I think that is one thing that is drawing us back. And let us pray, like I said yesterday, and we advocate for creation of indoor facilities. Because if we do that, then we'll be getting closer. Two, exposure. You'll see that if we borrowed from other countries, you look at a country like Cameroon, which is just next door to Rwanda and Burundi, is not very far. Cameroon have a lot of opportunities. They export their players mainly to France and in Europe, especially the women's team. And they are exposed to high level competition. By the time they come to link up with the national team, they're in very good shape. So if I would advise countries, our member countries in Zone 5, to grab any opportunity to send individual players on contract to places that play better volleyball than we do. It will improve our style. We have had some of our girls go for professional stints in Japan, in Egypt, in France, in Serbia, and all these other places, even the men. Right now we have one man in France, another one in Egypt, like that. It will lift the standards. But locally, I'd also like to say, I'd like to echo what Coach Sami Mlinge said, and I said it yesterday. Let us find a very robust in-zone competition program. Let's use the affordable cross-border opportunities. And then finally, let us not hesitate to import technicians, technical staff from countries that are doing better than us. We've been doing in Kenya, as a case in point, we've been importing technical personnel from Japan for a very, very, very long time. And actually, we owe where we are to 3 consecutive Japanese national coaches. Let us not insist, let us not politicize it and say, no, an African country team must be led by an African country coach. Finally, let us use a lot of the technical and administrative expertise that we have in the zone. Let us not hesitate to invite authorities from one country to the other. I'm very happy to see today one of the first people to really insist in East Africa, that time it was East Africa, that we start beach volleyball. Moffat, Coach Moffat, who went on to become an international referee. I think he must be happy where he is, because the beach volleyball that he campaigned very hard for us to start at zonal level has at least now produced an Olympic team. Let us maximize on the opportunities and also the expertise. Let us borrow, let us lend one another expertise, exchange, internal exchange within the zone. And I know my president, Fernand has a very good plan, as reflected in the strategic plan, where we'll have courses in different places. Let countries come up and host. Let countries come up and organize tours, especially for beach volleyball, international ones that other countries can come to. Let us also bid for some of these other events. Let us not fear to bid for continental championships. Because when people play at home, a lot of players get motivated, and also even the corporate world gets to know how robust volleyball can be and how much it can be it can mean in terms of marketing. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. You must have the best players in regional competition and continental competition, and also in international competition. Very, very important. Thank you, Charles. The next topic is performance and Olympic Games. Preparation for admission to the Olympic Games. NOC must ensure the supervision and preparation of each delegation for the Games. It's very important. This is the mission of the National Olympic Committee. So the objectives of the mission: approve the budget, approve the strategic and operation plan of the Games, for example, for the next Games, Paris 2024, ensure clarity of role and decision and compliance with the Olympic Charter. Responsibilities and decisions: protect the Olympic symbol, define the criteria for the participation, incidence responsibilities, appoint a chief de mission and Olympic attaché and press attaché, set up a GAM preparation committee, creating an environment that will allow athletes to compete and to attain the high level. It is very important. Main decisions, budget funding, athlete selection, operation planning for the games, sponsor and suppliers, gas, extinguisher, costs, clothes, and a report for the mission. This is in French. We need to the good relation with the partners. For example, relations with the government, national federations, organizing committee of the games, international federation, media relations, sponsors, embassy of the host country, embassy of your country. For example, embassy, your embassy at Paris is very important. You have contact with the embassy. Constant communication with the OCOG, the Olympic organization. Respect the calendar. Participate in continental meetings. In the meeting of chief de mission, approval of the national anthem and the flag of your national country. Contacts with the Olympic Village service and accreditation service, transport service, accommodation service, and ticketing service. Very important. Role of the chief of mission, communication with the OCOG. Participate to the chief of mission meeting, approve the national anthem and the flag, accredit the members of these countries, delegation, registers athletes for the games. He takes care of booking flights. He checks the validity of the passport or travel document of the delegation and the athlete. Equipment. And we can talk drugs also take away because we have a medical commission. Confirmation of delegation in the sport, registration, verification, acquisition of apartment for athletes, technical official, and medical staff, equipment, and also transport. And this is activities before arrivals, and we have formality transit, transmit to OCOG the name of the athlete who will carry the flag during the parade, order and dispute the tickets, check athletic clothing to see if it meets required standards, for example, volleyball and beach volley. Planning of daily activities with assistant and Olympic attaché, and planning activities with the media. During the games, management of accommodation, transport, training programs for athletes, management of technical meeting with the International Federation, management of the opening and closing ceremony, management of guests in the village, management of the Olympic family programs. Yes. You need to have a press attaché. And Press attaché prepare the arrival and delegation with the OCOG. Meeting between the NOC and personalities of your country. Promote your NOC in the host country. Prepares the tourist and culture visit of the NOC and to assist you and assist the NOC to start the direction of the games. It's very important. And what about the team leader? Team leader in the Olympics. His role is training of athletes, technical meeting with the International Federation, participation in the competition, final commitments of athletes, floating equipment, and planning and facilitation of meeting with coaches. Medical staff, half of athletes and officials. Contact with the health and doping control service. It anticipates injuries and accidents. It takes care of equipment, tags, and medical equipment. There's attaché facilitate media accreditation in his country, managing press conference, prepare press releases and press briefing, interview with media, meeting of press officers. And how do you think about these pictures? Performance on the Olympic Games. Yeah, many things. Challenges of the National Olympic Committee. Improving athlete performance. Well, coaching, training, sport science, many activities. Building a sport team. The head coach should select individuals who can provide quality sport in key area and those areas and who can work well with the sport. More experts if you need performance. Yeah, coach, biomechanics, nutrition, sport science, physiotherapy, medical, assessment, many things. Sport science stuff. Biomechanic, performance, data analyst. Medical staff. And it is very important to know the role of technical director in your national federation. For me, the technical director defines a technical policy for all sporting events set up and level national coaches and regional technical managers concerns for elite, junior, and youth events, as well as the training of educators of coaches. This is my opinion. He is in charge of the national team, youth, junior, and senior. There is a technical coordination between the federation and partners organization. He is in charge for the selection and appointment of the national team coaches. He is in charge of training and development of technical staff. He is responsible for the appointment for the department technical executives. He participates in development of a strategic development plan for his federation. He participates in the development of specific programs such as medical assistance and nutrition for athletes, assessment of infrastructure and sport equipment, very important. He ensures the project development with the is in relation with the Minister of Sport and set up with the coaches a program of preparation of national team. For me, is the task of the national technical director is we have many tasks. That is I think is very important. And that is achievement in the technical project in your federation. Olympic Games selection and mission. We have, but now we talk about Africa. I don't talk about the USA Olympic Committee because it is a big organization. For me, the goal for Olympic, again, the mission to assemble and support a team that represents its country with distinction, to provide an environment that will allow the athlete to perform their best, opportunities for team members, fair play, respect, friendship, and also for the team members enjoy the culture of, for example, the Paris, the France cultures, and no. You can propose a strategic plan for the Paris Olympic Games, and it's very important to work with your press attaché. Activities: selection of game mission staff, selection of athletes, coaching and other staff. Orientation seminar for mission staff, including team leaders. A visit to the organization committee to around accreditation, housing, service. Yes, you can also propose marketing planning for the Paris 2024 for your federation. This is a group of games, coordinating group. NOC President, NOC Chief Executive Officer, Chief of Mission, Director of Marketing, Communication, Team Leader, this is the question. How do you support the coaches, technical and administrative staff in the research and development of your sport? We talk about the performance. Someone from Rwanda, for example, or other countries.
Maybe if I may just comment on our experience and how we go about supporting the technical and administrative staff. I think before maybe I give the Kenyan picture, I would like to say that one of the greatest things that one of the things that has drawn Kenya back, not just Kenya, but I think our African countries, is the frequency at which we change the technical staff, especially the coaching staff. It's almost now a habit that we pick our coaches according to the assignment. The coaches who are appointed for that assignment. So their life cycle is very short. And I think that is something that we need to look at. We need to look to copy, we need to benchmark with the other countries and give the lease of life for the coaches, for the coaching team especially. Make it a long-term thing, something that fits into either a 5-year plan or better still even a 10 years plus plan. Having said that, in Kenya, what we do is that, just like I think every other country, the coaches are appointed by the national executive of the National Federation, and they are given an administrative structure to report to. We always appoint a team manager. Then the coaches report to the team manager and rely on the team manager for the day-to-day logistics and support. We have, before a team is installed, there is a budget which we will have. If there's an international event attached to that particular assignment, before the team is selected, we make a budget and seek support from the government. And I must say that our government has been very, very supportive. They have supported about 95% or more of the requests that we have made. Then a timetable is drawn up in consultation with the coaches, how long the training is going to take, the venue of the training, preferably residential training. And then they give us a coaching plan, the coaches get together, they give us their proposal. Once it's approved, the Federation supports. But then I must say that alongside this, because I can see there's research and development of performance. It's not very consistent, but we try to attach a statistician with the group that is going to do the coaching. They will then, these statisticians will get the data to do with the team performance, to do with the individual players' performance, and also their history, and then also make certain recommendations. And some recommendations I made for the future. But I must say that when it comes to research, I don't think many of us have given it the emphasis that it should. And maybe in future, what we should do is we should find a systematic way of doing our research, documenting it, and having it come in as our monitoring and evaluation machinery, so that the findings can be analyzed, problems analyzed, and then recommendations for future implementation put in. I think that one of the greatest drawbacks we have is that we don't have any systematic research. We don't have ways in which material that would come from that research is going to be analyzed. We don't have any very, very scientific monitoring and evaluation tools. We don't even have defined objectively visible indicators, objectively proven indicators that we look for if we are to do such a research. What we rely on a kind of a shallow report from the coaching unit, and sometimes it's acted on, sometimes it's not. Thank you.
Yeah. But you know that we have many coaches. You have the coaches for the national youth team, women team and men team, senior team. It's very important to manage. This is the problem also you have. How many coaches we have for the national teams?
We have on a good day, what we do is that every team, every gender team or every age group team has a head coach, 2 deputy coaches, and a trainer. Then finances allowing, we may have a statistician accompanying them. But the standard team is head coach, 2 assistant coaches, and 1 trainer who is a very active, or preferably a recently retired national team player who is also physically very active and has a good grasp of the sport, so that they can do demonstrations to the players if and when it's needed. But what we learned, and I think this is something that all of us in the zone should think about. When we get out there, we find a coaching unit of up to 12 coaches, a head coach and maybe 10 coaches, all of them of different departments. There's a coach specific for attack, there's a coach or 2 or 3 for setting, there is a coach for reception, even the libero has a coach. So I think I don't want to say that it's because of finance, but I think we need to broaden our experience, and I think Alfred mentioned it earlier, my colleague, is that when the team traveled to the last Olympics, and we had 6 Brazilian coaches who had been seconded to the team by FIVB. And then we had 3 of our own coaches. So we had 9 coaches. And you would see things moving much, much more easily and much more lightly. And when consultation is at a higher level with more people, each one bringing in their own unique expertise, I think things go very, very well. So we should, I know We have come from a stage where in the 90s, we just used to send a coach and a deputy coach.
Yeah.
Two people. But I think we have improved, but I think we need to go a lot further because we are overworking. We are expecting too much when the number of coaches are low, especially during the residential training. I think we need to give a broader, lot more coaches, of course, looking at each one's specialization because coaches have different strengths. And also another,
Yes.
the statistician,
Something.
I must say, we need a statistician during training and even during competition. If possible, they should be 2 or 3, because I think capturing how the team performed is very good for the continuous quality improvement later. Thank you.
Tanderi, I see that Tanderi can.
Thank you very much. As my colleague said, to support coaches and technical administrative staff in research, and also performance, I would like to mention one thing. Even my colleague said that it is not very important. Finance is also contributing that process of research and the performance for entire team. I would like to mention that those staff, those coaches, those administrative staff or technical staff, or those are assigned to hand over the statistician. I think that the budget allocated to the team also can be also another obstacle to attain the objectives, because in Africa, you know, some
Correct.
do you hear me?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes. You know, our National Olympics Federation, you know, sometimes we are using government funds, and sometimes even while planning, you are always requesting the government to support your plans. And when you don't have a man in the time, sometimes we are losing more. Even technical staff, you can plan that you can have at least nine or 2 coaches, 1 coach, 2 vice coaches, statistician, other people. But they can say that reduce that number because that financial cannot allow you to use that number. So sometimes I said we are planning on that. We are having the more coaches, technician, administrative, but also limitation of financial. Also, we have it's another thing which can be an obstacle to attain our objectives.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. The challenge now, is for the International Olympic Committee. From 1896 to 2021. You know that Greece has had financial difficulties to organize the games of 1896, and the Paris Games and Saint Louis Games and London are part of the activities of universal and colonial exhibitions. IOC also confronted with the conflicts, First and Second World War. Pierre de Coubertin transferred the headquarters of the IOC to Lausanne. 1936, the Berlin Games took place in an atmosphere of political propaganda. You can see the photos. The IOC in the face of terrorism and political demands the taking of hostage during the 1972 games in Munich and Carlos and Smith affairs at the 1968 games in Mexico City. The apartheid system in South Africa, which caused boycott of African countries at the Montreal Games in 1976, and the boycott of Moscow and Los Angeles Games also. Armed conflict in the world, Kosovo, Palestine, Korea, Syria, and other conflicts in Africa and Asia. Interference of governments in the management and organization of sport. We have also the problem of gender equality and sexual abuse in sport, doping in sport, the selection of the candidate city for the organization of games, admission of new Olympic sport, environmental and climate problems now, and the broadcasting and of the games by the media, but not also one of the big problem now is social network management uses. It's very important. Social network management use is a problem. About the pandemic, cancellation of Olympic qualified competitions, suspension for athlete training programs, cancellation of island and hotel reservation, stopping of game preparation activities, new calendar and online activities of the IOC, review of the contract with the sponsor. You know that the problem in Tokyo, and also Beijing now for Winter Games, spectators from other countries is the problem. It's the same problem with the Tokyo Games. Pandemic is a problem now. And the questions is, what were the main challenges of your federation, and what is the current situation with COVID pandemic? This is a big problem. I don't know that the pandemic is now under control in your country. What the situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Muhammad Hiri.
Yeah.
Somali.
Yes, Muhammad.
Yeah. The question is a very important for COVID-19. COVID-19 in our country, we stopped all the events, volleyball, the last year, because our planning was destroyed with COVID-19. COVID-19 is the problem, no events, and because our plan was to make events, school competition and the beach volleyball competition. So that is not possible because all of the country is lockdown. So the government and the Minister of Health requested us to stop all the events. So we accepted because COVID-19 all of the world affected. The National Federation Volleyball Somalia situation at that time was very, very, very difficult. No meeting. no movement. So we lose 2 years that COVID-19, the problem from COVID-19.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Someone? Yes, Charlie Nyabewi. I think for in Kenya we have not many problems.
Yes, but Kenya and Somalia is a difference, my dear friend, my dear colleague. Kenya is a strong country. All constitution is active, but Somalia is divided rules. Or some regions are controlling government, some are controlling tribe clans, some are controlling Islamist activities. So Kenya cannot compare in Somalia. At the moment, Somalia is a weak country.
Okay, someone from Rwanda or some from Kenya? Yeah. Not
talking?
Yeah, not
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Ntateri, what the situation now in Rwanda? The pandemic situation.
Can you say again?
Yeah. What the situation now is the pandemic situation in sport?
Okay. According to pandemic COVID-19 situation in Rwanda, I think even now we are playing the league because continuing because most of people are now vaccinated, and when you are see the rate of those who are hospitalized, we have a few number, and the sports are now open. They are playing, and and we are now preparing the national teams different games. So in Rwanda we have I can say the situation is we have no situation we can
vaccination is free in Rwanda. Vaccination is free.
Yes, vaccination is free for all people. Even when you are living in Rwanda, you can be vaccinated free. There is no charge. And I would like to remind you. And I would like to remind you that in that pandemic situation in Rwanda, we have organized the FIVB tournament and 2-star in Rubavu, Gisenyi recently, and no one have been tested positive. And we have almost 100 athletes around the Gisenyi beach. I think that Muring is present here. I can testimony what happened there. So the situation of pandemic in Rwanda is not a big deal that can harm our sport activities. Thank you.
No problem for the national competition now. You have no problem.
No problem.
And the school competition, volleyball school competition. Do you think that is okay?
Okay. I said now we are playing. The team can play, no problem. Even the spectators, because we have to be tested negative, and you are going to the stadium watching, no problem. Did you get me? Hello?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. I wanted to come back. I wanted to tell you something.
Yes.
Now our situation is normal about the COVID-19. We took vaccinate free the games and events. We can start. We can go stadium. We can play. We can make training, and now it's recovery, the country and the people, and step by step.
Maybe to add something, Chair.
Yes, sir, Fred.
Am I allowed? Yeah, in Kenya, vaccination is free and it is ongoing. And most of the challenges that we experience at this moment is that the national league, we are unable to finish to compete entirely or effectively as an outing of the national team or the clubs in the stadium because of their protocols and the funds. Sometimes the funds, it causes some congestion and protocols of health. So we normally, sometimes like our first league, we undertook it outside, and it was very successful. But challenges of health were there, and we managed to follow the protocols. So you find that the challenges are there because the venues sometimes are used for vaccination, for government administering vaccination to the general public. So that also causes challenges. And a few stadiums we normally share with other games like basketball and handball. So that also causes some challenges. Yes, sir.
Komaket?
Yes, thank you so much, the host and the president, Zone 5, and all the other participants. COVID generally, it has been a challenge. And just like many other countries, we have also been out of the game for nearly 2 years. We managed to start our league in September this year. And at least as I talk now, we have gone almost to the end of the first round. Actually, this weekend, we shall complete the first round. We have been playing outdoors, and this was a recommendation from our National Council of Sports, and without spectators. Meanwhile, trying to observe.
Switch on your video, please. We need to see you.
I beg your pardon?
Switch on your video, so we need to see you. I asked those who are intervening, so I can switch on your video also for the recordings.
Video.
Okay, I'll do that. So, basically, just a moment. Just a second. Okay.
You just click on video.
Okay. Is it on? No.
You are welcome.
Am I now? Okay. Is it clear?
Go on.
Yeah, go now.
Okay. So I was saying just because of our, directives from National Council of Sports, we have been playing without spectators. And the league has gone on halfway, and at least some activities occurred. The vaccination is voluntary. So for now, we do it according to the wish of individuals. There are those who opt to vaccinate, there are those who do not opt to vaccinate. Now, in regards to schools, I think, as you must have read probably, Uganda has been one of the countries that has closed school for so long. And hopefully in January, that is when we will open schools. So we have not had any activities completely in regards to underage categories. They are home. So it is only the league that has taken place, but at least we're happy that some activity took place. We also managed to send the men's team to Rwanda for the Africa Championship, and at least life is coming back. We just remain positive and hopeful that things will improve in the new year. Otherwise, generally, COVID had a very big effect on sports in our country, but we are coming out of it slowly by slowly. Thank you.
Maybe you've also had something from Kenya.
What happened is that we had a break, not a break, but all events for both the national federations, all the sporting activities were switched off because of COVID. But then we were told to work out on a protocol, a COVID protocol. Each federation worked out a protocol that encompassed the regulations that had been given by the Minister of Sports and Minister of Health. We were finally allowed to go back under very strict conditions. First of all, we never used to have any spectators at all, but then with time, we've been left to have limited number of spectators, of course, who are observing the social distance and all the other COVID protocols. So as we stand now, we were able to resume and complete our league matches in August last year. Then we took the break. When we resumed at the new season in October, we have already had one leg of the league and the tournament, and we are going on, but we are, the ministry and government are monitoring closely. We also happy to, okay, now we are not happy anymore because we hear there is Omicron coming that could present new challenges and limitations. But as of last month, the Minister of Education, in consultation with the Minister of Health and Minister of Sports, had agreed to resume the school competition program, the regional and the national competitions. But we don't know now which way to go, whether this new change, this new happening might change things, but we don't know. But as it stands, that is there. Children are playing sport in school. Children are playing limited competition, friendly competitions against one another, the neighboring schools. But the systematic one of regional to national one has not set off, but it has tentatively been approved and plans are underway. But all this is being done under very strict conditions. The vaccination process, the campaign is still going on. The majority of the people now have had their second vaccination. But as you all know, even the medics are telling us that vaccination is not 100% guarantee against infection. Now we're waiting to see, we're hoping that the Omicron, which has been detected, we are hoping that it doesn't bring in any new limitations. But as it is now, things are working. People are using the thermal guns for any gathering. People are sanitizing, and the balls, we sanitize the balls that we use for all this. And yeah, so far, not good enough, but at least it's better than nothing that we had. So that's where we are with the COVID pandemic. But COVID prevention education is in full blast. and our team managers and the, take charge of the safety of their own teams. So I think we're making some progress on that. We're just hoping that the new development doesn't reverse the gains so far. Thank you.
The last question is for the president. How you can start the events competition next year with this current situation, pandemic situation, president? President of Zone 5. Well, I think that we have problem with your microphone.
To open it. So
yeah, because the question is.
Now it is open now.
Yeah, it is open. I think that you have planning events competition next year. And the question is how you can start the events competition next year with this current situation, pandemic situation.
Yeah,
many problems in the zone.
Yeah, so our zone is in some problem with other areas of this globe, because it is a pandemic for the whole globe, not for Zone 5. So we are in the same problem. So as I can tell you, all of you have been here. Sorry. There are some people are talking. Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Let the people mute their.
Mute your phone. Thank you. Yeah, with the Zone 5, we have the same problem like other area of this globe. As we had in our projection or in our plan, would have been, for example, in November, have been get this tournament of championship of club champion in the zone. So we didn't do that because of this pandemic. Because of many problems. In December, we have planned to do some in a competition in beach volleyball, but I don't know it will be done because now we are on 5th of December. It was supposed to be done next week, but with the problem we have of transport, air transport, it is not easy to make it. And in the previous day, there's many things have been put in the pipeline, but we have cancelled it because of this one. Even in CAVB, we had a meeting of board members have been cancelled, been pushed in February because of this new aspect of COVID. So we had a body problem, but next year, I think, with inshallah, as some say, maybe in our pipeline, we have almost 4 competitions we needed to make every year in our strategic plan. So we'll continue with this competition of club champion. Last time we made it for men only, but we would like to do it in both gender, men and women at the same time. And I think it will be done. It was supposed to be done in November this year, but we couldn't make it. Maybe we will see how we can do it by March next year. We had also in our pipeline a competition of our national teams to prepare them for the competition in CIVB and in the World Cup. that also will be in both gender, for example. And we are planning also to have an underage competition in indoor, in the volleyball. Maybe it will be under 19 or under 20. It will be decided in the board, or will be convened in January. And we have also a competition of beach volleyball. As I told you, we have planned the first one in this December, but with this situation, we can't make it. Maybe you can see how we can shift it to in January or February. It will depend on the situation. But we'll get every year a competition, a tour of beach volleyball to prepare our teams to be competitive, as we have seen that in Africa, we have a competitive advantage in beach volleyball. First of all, it is affordable because of a small number of people involved, and have more potentials. And I think it is a sport where you can put more emphasis and get some results without a lot of resources put inside that competition. But we will put more effort in this kind of competition. That's what I can say in what we have in the pipeline. And we have many trainings like this one. So I think that's what we can do even when there is this situation, because we can do it. Everybody is sitting in his home or in the office. We can do this kind of trainings. We will see how we can emphasize on this training, as we don't have anything to do because of this situation. As I have the floor, I would like to comment to some issues raised before by some people when they were intervening for different topics. There are some questions have been raised. So I would take this opportunity to answer them or give some insight on that. Yesterday, for example, in the first session, Paul Bitok have raised the issue of championship of club champion, where we had the last time. He was asking himself how this is not happening now. So I have already discussed about this because of this problem of situation. We have planned to do it in November this year, but we didn't get time to do that. But we'll see how we can shift it by March and see how we can do it according to the situation we'll get with this situation of pandemic. Charles have raised a problem of come up with other trainings to prepare our technicians so that they can deliver as it has to be delivered. So as I told you, that is the best thing we can do now, because it is easy to make this kind of trainings using this platform, for example, and we make more effort in doing those trainings, as we still have problem of moving from one place to another. But when we get time, we'll get the possibility to move. It will be better if, for example, for the training of coaches, it is better to do it when people are together so that they can exchange, do some technical exercise, something like that. But by the time we use this platform and get some trainings where it is possible and required. Comarket was telling about getting expertise from the zone to develop our zone coaches level. As I said last time, our zone have potentials because we have a lot of technicians inside the zone. We have the people to have Egypt inside this zone. They have a lot of technician, maybe we can take advantage of this and use them to develop other coaches, other referees, other technicians in this zone. So we are going to use them and get something from them and develop our coaches. He was talking also about visit tour. I don't know if it is possible now, right now because of this pandemic. Maybe when things will be somehow smooth, maybe we'll do that. Today, discussion, Alfred have talk about the problem of support. So I think it's a big problem we have in volleyball, even at the level of Africa. We don't have our private sector didn't see that sport as a partner where they can invest and get something from them. So it is a big challenge, and we have taken it as a priority in a CAVB so that you see how we can engage our private sector so that they can support our federations and even our confederation, because mostly our confederation was supported by FIVB and some small number of companies like Mikasa giving balls only, like other companies who are providing, for example, equipment, but there is no really a good partner who can give consequent money so that they can finance our competition, our activities. But we'll make more emphasis on that in CAVB and at the same time in the zone. Financial resources to prepare national team properly. That is another big problem. That's why our national team, when they are going to compete in the World Cup, so it is like they didn't get there because they are beaten. So with a manner which is not good for Africa. So that's why we need to make more emphasis in the preparation of our teams, of national teams. So there is a project in FIVB. It was done as a trial when they have sent these people from Brazil to train national team of Kenya. It was a trial of a project where the FIVB can send a team of people to come and strengthen the capacity of our national team in Africa and even around the world. So it is up to our national federation to make a project, ask the support from the FIVB to get that kind of support, and the other get by a national team of ladies of Kenya. So I would ask all president of federation who are here in this platform so that they can make a project and request the support in that kind of form in the FIVB that will respond to that question. Moringa is talking about the government is trying to help national teams. That is a good thing, and I think they have to make more emphasis, and I think they have get some results because of that. I think the government will not going back and withdraw the support. Money power from Brazil. Yeah, I've talked about this. Beach volleyball. Yeah, beach volleyball, as I told you, it's an easy sport where you can put more emphasis and get very far without more resources or big resources. I think we need to make more emphasis on that. I would ask all federations to to go on and make everything possible to get teams of beach volleyball. Yeah, there's also an issue of athletes which have to be sent outside. That is very good, because when we have an athlete who are not traveling, so they will not improve a lot in the sport. It is better. So I would ask people who have many connections here, so to help our national teams, our national players, so to be sent everywhere so that they can gain more experience, more, get more from the sport and come back and support our national teams and get at the level where other team in the other continent are. So that is very good to emphasize on that. Cross-border facilities, yeah. So when you have people who are together, who are sharing borders, it is easy for them to meet. So we emphasize on that. To outsource clinical from experienced people. So that also we are going to do that. But first of all, let's focus on our resources inside our zone, because that will not cost nothing. But when you take someone from outside, it will be costly. But let's focus on what we have as the resources here. We have many resources in China, for example. We have many coaches who can coach others. We have many referees who can train other referees, for example. So we'll focus on that instead of going outside. So let's maybe, yeah, stay there. Maybe still have another day in order to not to be very long. But thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your contribution. I think this will help us to improve our strategic plan, because we have got some issues we didn't think about before when we are drafting our strategic plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President. So the second session, legal tools to manage Olympic sport organization, famous athletes of the Olympic Games, performance and Olympics, and challenge of the IOC and your challenges. Very good. Okay. Thank you for the President, for all participants for today. And tomorrow we will talk about the strategic plan for 2021-2024, and the project of the CAVB-Zone 5 in relation with your international federation and IOC, Olympic Solidarity Programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Goodbye, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I appreciate my president.
Goodbye.
Mr.
Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.